because of this major injury. He has to go home, put his life into perspective, and I guess Brie Bella doesn't want him to do it alone. So we have to kind of support Brie Bella, and we shouldn't hold her accountable for making the decision to leave the WWE, because I've said more times than enough over the years, if you get about 6 or 7 years out of the WWE diva, you're lucky. And I think that, with Trish Stratus really setting the bar of 6 or 7 years and so many women's championship reigns, so many incredible matches and moments, I think that a lot of divas strive to be just as good as what Trish Stratus is. And I think that Brie Bella definitely proved that she was just as good as Trish Stratus, if not the best, definitely just as good as what Trish Stratus was. And I think that a lot of divas, kind of try to, emulate the careers of Trish Stratus and some of the top women of the past, like Alundra Blaze and Rena Mero. And if they get as far as that, I think they're satisfied. I think they come to a point, a realization in their careers. That's obviously what happened with AJ. AJ realized she did everything as a wrestler, as a diva in WWE that she was ever going to be eligible to do. She was also a valet. She was a general manager outside of competing in the ring. And I think she just got to a point of realization, do I want to really keep doing this with the rest of my life, or do I want to announce my retirement before there's going to be a day that I'm not going to be able to announce my retirement because I'm going to have to retire because of some unfortunate circumstance that could befall me. So what she did was she went to Twitter and announced her retirement, no less than a 150-word tweet. I can't say I really agree with how AJ handled her retirement, and that's why I'm hoping that if Brie Bella departs ways with the company, she will not go to Twitter and handle her retirement the way of an AJ Lee, nor if both the Bella twins leave. I hope they don't go to their respective Twitters or their Twitter as a tag team and release a tweet in less than 150 words and put their retirement out for the WWE fans and fans of the Divas division, because I think it will be a really huge setback for the Bella twins, because I think their retirement needs to be handled really professionally, because they were there longer than AJ and some of the divas of the past, and they really need to set a good example for the divas of the future, who will probably do the same thing they will do years from now. So hopefully if they do go to Twitter or they handle their retirement, I hope they handle it more professionally than what AJ Lee ever did. Because the funny thing about AJ is, if you're on Facebook all the time, you see these photos of AJ showing up at WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown, and they're showing photos now of herself and Dean Ambrose, which is really bizarre in my opinion. I think that if someone announces their retirement from professional wrestling, they should stay away from the business. I don't think they should keep popping up just because they know they can and get away with it. And that's why I hope that if the Bella twins do retire, we don't see photos of themselves showing up on Raw and SmackDown like we have divas who have retired over the last 6 to 8 months, which is absolutely ridiculous. I was always a huge fan of Brie Bella. I thought that she showed great work ethic. I thought she showed great dedication out of what she did, and that's why I always put the Bella twins over more than I did criticize the Bella twins. When they were fired the first time, I thought the second half of their careers definitely gave them the benefit of the doubt and gave them the opportunity to showcase themselves in ways that the first half of their career didn't. From the first half to the second half of their career, they didn't have the chance to be reality stars. In the second half of their careers, when they got that opportunity to be reality stars for the Total Divas show, and they were really the focal point of the show. They were the Kardashian sisters of the WWE. They were nowhere near the ratings drawers of the Kardashians, with Keeping Up with the Kardashians being E's moneymaker. But WWE recognized the potential of them being reality stars, and I think the second half of their career, that's why they were signed. They were brought back with the purpose of being reality stars and being a huge part of the Total Divas reality show, which I don't think we've seen the last of when it comes to the E! Network, because of the ratings the show got. I think it will succeed without the Bella twins, because it's only a matter of WWE trying to create one or more stars, because, like the Bella twins, to carry on the tradition of Total Divas from season to season on the E! Network. But who it will be, I really don't know. I can throw some suggestions your way. Paige, Summer Rae maybe can pick up where the Bella twins will leave the torch. I really don't know. But I think the Bella twins are just kind of at a point now in their lives where they realize they've done enough. They both had respective WWE Divas Championship reigns. They both held the championships more than enough times and held them for a significant amount of time for each reign, although Nikki Bella only held it the first week of her first reign as Divas Champion, and ultimately got a second reign, which is far more superior and will be looked at as her greatest Divas Championship reign of up to 6 months now. So I think they're getting to a point, a pivotal point, where they realize now they've done everything possible they can possibly do, and they just want to slow it down a little bit and go home for a while. I don't think we've seen the last of the Bella twins. I think they will still do something with the business. I think it's just a matter of WWE creative trying to find things for the Bella Twins to do. I don't see them being trainers on Tough Enough. I don't see them doing commentary. I don't see them coming back for reality television. I just think they're going to make a scattered appearance to present an award at a Slammy Award show year after year, or just show up and cut a promo and be involved with some of the newer divas probably once every 4 through 6 months. I would accept that, but I think that what you need to do is you need to go away from the business for a while before you start making random appearances, either as award presenters or just cutting a promo in the ring. You just can't show up about 2 or 3 weeks after you retire, because that would completely defeat your purpose of announcing your retirement. And, this is just one of these situations, I think, where wrestling fans need to grasp the reality of this. And what the reality of this is a real-life situation where Daniel Bryan unfortunately went down with a major injury, the second major injury in less than 1 year he has suffered from, where doctors have really no idea what's wrong with Daniel Bryan. They're just putting random diagnoses on what's wrong with Daniel Bryan, although they don't know what the definite diagnosis is. And because of this, now Daniel Bryan has to go home, and it's uncertain the future of Daniel Bryan's career in the way of competing or what he's going to be doing in the future with the WWE. Let me say this. If there is a role given to Daniel Bryan, I think he will be a commentator ever before his wife, Brie Bella, is a commentator, because I think he can offer tremendous insight as to what it's like actually wrestling in the ring, like Booker T can't do. I think Booker T is kind of just the yes man on the Raw commentary team. JBL and Michael Cole provide the analogy. JBL provides the backstory of what it's like wrestling. Michael Cole provides the analogy, and Booker T is there just the yes man for both Michael Cole and JBL, who commentated as a team long before the idea of Booker T being a commentator in 2011 was ever dropped into fruition. That's the reason why Booker T went from being a commentator to a general manager, because they knew Booker T couldn't commentate wrestling matches to save his life. And I think that now they're just bringing him back because they're trying to change up the commentary teams that we've had over the years for Raw and SmackDown, with now Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and I think Jerry the King Lawler doing the commentary on SmackDown. And if not Michael Cole, it's left to Byron Saxton and Jerry the King Lawler. I often wonder what King feels about Byron Saxton, because he's such an inexperienced commentator. But here's the thing. If you have wrestlers who can't wrestle anymore, why not put Daniel Bryan and Edge at the commentary table and allow them to provide the backstory of what it's like to actually wrestle, as the King has done for a number of years. He's been Vince McMahon forever, so I think it's time to kind of change up the commentary teams. And if you want to, you can have Brie Bella come out and call a Scattered Divas match. I think it wouldn't hurt the Divas division to put her on commentary. She sounds very entertaining, but the thing is, with her doing commentary, we see her doing commentary with her sister Nikki all the time. When the Bella Twins have a pay-per-view tag team match coming up, or one of them has a title defense coming out of pay-per-view, and they're calling the match of their opponent at the pay-per-view or opponents. And I think what we need to do is we need to get Brie Bella away from her sister Nikki and allow her to provide an analogy if she's going to do commentary, say, on her own. That would be awesome, seeing her call a Scattered Divas match every once in a while. And it's also going to be opportunistic for us to get the opportunity to see what divas will get call-ups now from NXT's women's division, because of what's going on with Brie Bella. One of the divas that I'm really high on NXT, just to give you a backdrop of info here, is Alexis Bliss. Alexis Bliss is someone who I've been talking about a lot on this YouTube channel, someone who I've been a really big fan of. She puts me in mind of a female Rey Mysterio with how fast she is in the ring. She's really fast. She kind of puts me in mind of the AJ Lee within the first 1 to 2 years of AJ's career. She was one of those divas that, figuratively speaking, were quicker than the hiccup in the ring, and she was really fun to watch because she was so fast. And Alexis Bliss kind of puts me in mind of just one of those fast divas that's so on the edge of your seat, fun to watch. And I really think she would be awesome for the WWE Divas division, and I think a tremendous opportunity would be forthcoming for her, if we are seeing the last of Brie Bella, along with Charlotte, along with Bayley, and along with divas who are already a part of WWE's Divas division from NXT, like Summer Rae, who could be the next reality star, if not the next WWE Divas champion, because I think a huge opportunity is awaiting so many divas, such as Summer, and such as Bayley, and such as Alexis Bliss. But it will not happen until divas of the past are gone and never heard from again. And even if they are heard from again, the opportunity is still there. I think there has never been a funner time to watch the WWE Divas division than what there is now. I think this is the opportunity for fans who have never been introduced to Divas Wrestling to get used to it and be introduced to it in a way that you've never been introduced into it before. Because we have so many fun and unpredictable divas who are part of the division. We have more fun and unpredictable divas than what we did years ago. Back in 95, 96, when they weren't even called WWE Divas, you just had women who were involved with professional wrestling, and they were basically serving as valets and managers. Now, women are serving the purpose of actually competing in the ring and showcasing what their true abilities are. And I think that's a tremendous way of putting over women in the business. Back in 95, 96, you would have never seen this. You had a women's division, yes, but the women's division wasn't as diverse as what the Divas division is now. And I think this is definitely some new era that we've come into. And I think that there's never been a better time to be a fan of women's wrestling. If there ever was a time to be a fan of it, now is that time, and it's a tremendous opportunity that I think you should take a tremendous advantage of, either by watching Divas or women's wrestling on NXT. It's amazing. I think that women are definitely proving they have a place in this business, which is something they weren't proving back in the 90s. And if they were proving it back in the 90s, the only way they were proving it was being a manager to someone, or by being a client to somebody, or just by coming out and just standing at ringside, not really serving a purpose there one week and gone the next. You know, Owen Hart has been criticized a lot over the years since his passing for some of the comments that he has made about professional wrestling. One of the comments he made back in the 90s was that he believed that a woman didn't have a place in wrestling. And I think that because of that comment, that definitely set the wrestling world on fire, because a lot of people believed he was very stereotypical about his comments towards women. But now I wonder what he would have to say about the women's division now, after what it's evolved into since the 90s. Yes, women were there just to sell sex in professional wrestling, but now they're there definitely to sell more than just sex. They're there to put over a division that has definitely become established in the last decade. And it's because of the diversity that we see in the division. We have British divas, we have American divas, we have Russian divas, we have so many phenomenal divas exemplifying so much exuberance, so much diversity, and I can never give the WWE Divas division enough credit for doing what they do. If not for the Divas division being the way it is now, I shudder to think what kind of position the women's divisions would be in for either major wrestling promotion when you talk in terms of WWE, TNA, and even Ring of Honor on an independent level. I'd even shudder to think what kind of position independent women's wrestling would be in now with little opportunities they are given when it comes to wrestling on the professional scene. I think it's amazing what the WWE is doing with their divisions, and I think it's just equally as amazing what TNA and Ring of Honor are doing. I just wish that the WWE and TNA and Ring of Honor would get more opportunities to showcase what their divisions are really all about. Some of the issues I think that need to be corrected, that are far from being corrected and a long way away from being corrected, are longer women's matches. More than one women's match on a show, especially now with that third hour of Monday Night Raw. You can have up to 2 women's matches, and we need far more creative storylines going on in either division for either major company. When you talk in terms of WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, we need something far more creative going on, because I think, in years past, women's wrestling was far more interesting than what it is now. It's really dry right now, and that's more than what I can say for all the things going on in professional wrestling, even outside of the women's division. We are in a period of time, and caught in this period of time, where wrestling has never been more dry and thought of for being more dry. You know, how often do we see Sting? How often do we see Brock Lesnar? How often do we see The Undertaker? It's only now The Undertaker is possibly coming back full time because of this angle between himself, Sting, Bray Wyatt, and the Authority, and this higher power, which is a fourth